and welcome to TheWrap Studios. I'm Stuart Brazel here with Chyler Leigh, and we're going to be talking about this season and building up to the season finale of Supergirl.
Yes.
What was your initial response when you found out that your character was going to be gay and that we were going to see this love story?
I had no idea that it was coming. At the end of season 1, Andrew Kreisberg had talked to me a little bit about things for the next season, which is season 2, saying, you know, well, we're thinking about possibly bringing in like a romantic situation for Alex next season as we kind of know a little bit more about her. And I was almost like no, don't do that, because I was worried that season 1, it was so much about Alex, who she is with Kara, as opposed to just finding out who Alex is by herself. And then, you know, when he brought up the idea of it being a relationship, I was like, okay. And then it wasn't until just a few weeks before we started filming season 2 that they were like, so guess what? She's gonna be in a relationship and she's gay. And I'm like, ooh, what? Like, it threw me a little bit, just because it wasn't anything that would have been on my radar, or, you know, just wasn't part of any conversation we had had previously. Really concerned about how it was going to be approached, because I didn't want it to be like some ratings ploy. I wanted to make sure that if this is done and we're doing something at this level, and this is a character that now is on a comic book show that, I mean, I know they did it with Arrow, and there's characters, you know, in that, the Arrowverse, but because this is such a female-driven show, I wanted to make sure that it was done delicately.
And when you first met Floriana, before you started working together, did you guys have a conversation like, here's how we want to do this, or how do we want to do this?
I said, I want to make sure that whoever this girl is needs to be super cool. Like, I'm very protective of our cast and our set, because we all know when sets are bad, it's awful. But when you get a good vibe, like, it's when you're there for 14 to 16, sometimes 18 hours a day, you need to make sure that, you know, your environment is cool. So I talked to my husband about it, and I was like, babe, I'm going to be getting these auditions. And he's like, they're going to be sent to me. And he goes, let me see them first. And so straight up, he's like, if you're going to have a girlfriend, I'm going to pick your girlfriend.
That's
I was
amazing.
like, this is so rad. And so he watched the tapes before I did. He's like, I'm going to see him even before you get a chance to. And I was like, what a jerk. And so he did. He watched him, and Floriana was the second, you know, tape that came on. And right afterwards, he was like, that's your girl. And he goes, there's just something about her. There's like something behind her smile. It's almost like she's mischievous. There's something that's not on the page that's really wonderful about her. Because it could have come across as very, like, kind of that, you know, like
totally
butch kind of like thing, but that's not her.
And being on the CW, a lot of fans want to know that, will we get to see, I think the term that a lot of you used on Twitter is, will it get gayer?
It was kind of like, okay, if we can incorporate, even if it's just something,
right?
Even if it's just like, just walking by and I grab your arm, or put my arm around you or something, because I didn't want it to be so like, oh.
But then like so forced that you're just trying,
like,
so it's like a delicate balance.
Yeah, it's like, look, how would you feel if I thought it would be cool if I'm leaving, I gave you a kiss real quick? And then she's like, yeah, because it makes sense. Like, those kind of things. And my husband's like, yeah, I'm going to write that one down again. And
he's keeping tabs.
He's keeping tabs.